Slaughter the Lost Outpost has a lot of promise, but it needs a lot of polish. The gunplay is fine. It lacks real impact until you blow off body parts, but there isn't any invincibility frames during the slowdown effect, so you get your health pummeled down, making what could be cool in concept, something I absolutely dreaded once it happened. Other than that, every bullet feels like it never connects. Enemies shrug them off even if the rounds went right to their head. It doesn't quite feel right, but it's serviceable for what it is. The stealth kills and combat takedowns don't fare much better. Every stealth animation is the same. Get behind the enemy and stab them in the back. Even if they see you, if you run behind them, you can still stealth kill them. There aren't invincibility frames there either though, so you'll get lit up like a birthday cake during them. That also applies to the combat takedowns. Whenever an enemy is stunned, you can hit the attack button to take them down. You still get lit up like the 4th of July during those though, so again, kinda feels like a waste to use it. The way you heal in game is also kinda weird. You shoot enemies and collect medkits in order to charge up a healing meter, and then you use that healing meter in order to heal your actual health gauge, instead of actually collect medkits in order to use medkits to heal yourself. Yes, it's very strange. There's ways you can cheese it by shooting enemies in ways that they don't actually get harmed, but you still somehow get the health gauge from it, which makes no sense. Yeah, there's areas that are super glitchy and super weird. The game is kind of broken in that way. Other things that don't quite work right is the movement. The movement is pretty finicky. Climbing is just moving forward, which causes me to climb constantly when not meaning to. But there's tons that can be climbed and secrets that can be found by doing so. Just wish that every time I went to pick up an item, I wasn't climbing the dad blame table. Oh, and this bridge. Just watch. The environments were bland in color, but they weren't boring. There was variety, and every location was different enough that it felt like I was actually getting somewhere, which was a plus. The secrets hidden around were a nice addition as well. They weren't hidden impossibly to find, but they were hidden well enough that it felt rewarding whenever you found them. It's a linear game, but it has a decent sense of exploration that actually feels earned. The level design surprised me here. The enemies themselves had variety as well. Machine gunners, melee attackers, giant brutes, it kept things interesting at the very least. The bullet spongy nature of them did hinder my enjoyment though, and made it hard for them to stand on their own. The music isn't bad, but nothing grand either. Sometimes it can feel a bit too loud, but I got used to it after a while. It fits the game rather well, but nothing I'm going to listen to on my own accord, if that makes sense. I saved the story for last because it's extremely weak. Your dude named Russell wakes up in a prison and has to fight his way out. There's text added to the lore, but I didn't find myself tracking it all down. It's cliche and you can probably expect the world building in all honesty. The side characters are fine too, but nothing that'll really stick with you. The game itself is very arcadey in nature. It's not something I'm gonna recommend for the story or anything like that, but given the fact that the game's only $5, I can't actually recommend it, because for $5 I did enjoy some of the game. I had a little bit of fun with it. Even though it's not my place, I do have some advice. Next time, lean into the arcadey aspect. The boomer shooter blow them to pieces game you wanted to go for. Give us the invincibility when things happen out of our control. Let us blow our enemies to pieces, give us all the power, and let us have more control over movement as well. Increase the character's movement speed a little, or add a toggle to sprint feature, as well as a way to hipfire. Lean into the run and gun, arcadey, balls to wall action that a premise like this one allows. Even the slowdown effect would have complemented something like that. And there are a lot of moments in game where it feels like that's what the game wanted to be. And with a few tweaks here and there, it really could have been. The game has a lot of bugs and glitches. There's a moment when I walked on a fan and then I couldn't walk anymore. I got stuck, and then a guy on a bridge decided to just light me up. And I couldn't move or do anything, so I just had to take a bunch of bullets. That is infuriating. And the game publisher and developer gave me the key. Venomized Art has made games that look exactly like this, that looks like the same exact game, and it doesn't look like they've improved since the first time they've made a game like this. So I don't know. Take my advice, don't take my advice, but don't release games that have this many bugs and this many issues and feel like the same game. I know that they have a cheap price point. If you have a dedicated fan base and if this is what they want, then you know what? I'm glad. Good for them. Good for you. But I want to see you succeed. I want to see you improve. And whenever I compared the gameplay for this one, the one that I've played, with Slaughter 3 The Rebels, the one that came out in 2019, Slaughter 3, looked better than the one that just came out in 2023. It had more systems, it had more functionality, it had better feedback, it had more things that made you feel rewarding as a player. And this one just came out this year, and somehow it looks and feels like a downgrade. I haven't played your last one, so maybe I shouldn't say that, but I'm just gonna put it out there. As a viewer, as someone that has viewed both games and has played one of them, it was a lot more fun to watch the other. And I feel like, as a gamer who has played a lot of games, it would have been a lot more fun to play the other. Thank you for the key. I want to see you guys succeed. I truthfully do. But instead of leading into the arcadey action that made Slaughter 3 look like it'd be so much fun, you tried to take a hyper serious route with this one and it just didn't work. And I'm sorry to say that. It was a mediocre game. It wasn't bad. It's just not something I can recommend. For $5, if somebody wants to play a game for cheap, sure, go ahead. It's not bad, but I'm not gonna give it a glowing recommendation. I wish the best for you guys. Thank you for everybody that made it this far. For more news, reviews, and whatever we choose, stay tuned to Nerdsfeed. Have a great day. Thank you.